The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint John.
Glory to you, O Lord.
My Lord and my God. The Gospel of Saint John, chapter 20, verse 24 to 29. Thomas, called the twin, who was one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. When the disciples said, "We have seen the Lord," he answered, "Unless I see the holes that the nails made in his hands, and can put my finger into the holes they made, and unless I can put my hand into his side, I refuse to believe." 8 days later, the disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. The doors were closed, but Jesus came in and stood among them. "Peace be with you," he said. Then he spoke to Thomas. "Put your finger here. Look, here are my hands. Give me your hand, put it into my side. Doubt no longer, but believe." Thomas replied, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "You believe because you can see me. Happy are those who have not seen and yet believe." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers, my dear sisters, I take this opportunity to wish every one of you happy feast of the Saint Thomas the Apostle of India. Through him, today we may all receive lot of blessings and graces. Dear brothers and sisters, Saint Thomas is known as the one who have doubted about the resurrection of Jesus. And many people think that why, being an apostle, he had a doubt in his mind about the resurrection of Jesus. Though Jesus have already prophesied that on the third day he will rise into life. Why this apostle was not able to believe that? So many have got that doubt in our mind. When we look into that incident, one important thing that we all can understand is that it is not because of the unbelief of Saint Thomas that he said that I wanted to put my finger on his side. I wanted to see the holes of nails upon his hand. It is a very special request of Saint Thomas that he also has to see Jesus, resurrected Jesus. You have already given the appearance for all other apostles. I am also an apostle. Together with you lived 3 years. Why I can't get that an appearance of my Lord Jesus? So he have been very stubborn that I need the appearance of my Lord. I want to experience directly the presence of my Lord. And he expressed his deep love for Jesus wanted to see Jesus directly in front of him and to experience the presence of Jesus. So, it may not be called as a doubt, but it can be called as a very special request from the part of Saint Thomas that I need your presence to experience. As we celebrate this feast of Saint Thomas, Saint Thomas was a zealous missionary. In the first century, a land which is unheard of the people of that time, India, very far from there, he traveled and came into this place where he did not know the language and the people and culture. There, with a lot of struggle, he managed to preach Jesus among the people. So, the Christians in Kerala very much belong to Saint Thomas for their faith. They have been gifted with the faith in Jesus Christ even in the first century itself, not many days away from the life of Jesus. So, we can see that because of that missionary spirit of Saint Thomas, now in this 20th and 21st century, we have seen that so many Christians from Kerala gone to far and wide, all over the world, and especially to the other states of India, to preach the gospel and spread the faith in Jesus Christ to the non-Christians. And through the effort of these people in Kerala, so many places, faith has grown up. So, it is a very special blessing that Saint Thomas and his intercession has effected upon this land. Now, as we celebrate this feast, the deep sentiments of Saint Thomas towards Jesus. I want to experience Jesus. I want his presence. I want to touch his body. I want to be with my Jesus. That deep sentiment that Thomas wanted to experience is a great and important example for every one of us. As a Christian, we all should have to keep that faith within us and that desire within us, as Saint Thomas was able to express, that I need to experience Jesus. As we walk in the journey of our faith, this experience is so great that we all should have a personal experience of Jesus, personal knowledge of Jesus. And Saint Thomas was so adamant that he should get it. We also must be able to claim for that experience. That will bring great effect in our missionary activity. When we express our faith before others in the community, it will be a great living witness. Saint Thomas, though he was not so learned person, his personal experience reflected in India into the people with whom he have been in contact. So with 20 years of his life in India, he was able to erect 7.5 churches, communities, Christian communities. And later, those communities started to grow slowly, and started to spread all over Kerala and then to all over India. So, looking at Saint Thomas, let us learn that I need a personal experience of my God. When we claim that, surely Jesus, who obeyed or who was ready to give that presence to Saint Thomas, will also be ready to give us that experience, personal experience. Let us ask for the grace, and as Saint Thomas being a missionary, let's also be a missionary to the places and people who do not know about Jesus. May God bless every one of us.